Democrats have reached a deal on lowering prescription drug costs. The agreement to lower drug costs for seniors in particular would empower Medicare to negotiate the price of some drugs, penalize drug companies for raising prices higher than the rate of inflation, and cap out-of-pocket costs for seniors at $2,000 annually. It also creates a $35 out-of-pocket monthly maximum for insulin. Under the proposal, starting in 2025, the U.S. government would negotiate just 10 drug prices. The new compromise was approved by Senator Sinema, one of the holdouts to previous broader negotiations.
Medicare dental and vision, however, did not make the cut despite major public support. According to a new Morning Consult poll, adding dental and vision benefits to Medicare was at the top of voters' list for Biden's Build Back Better plan, followed by funding home health care for seniors and disabled people. So, the Medicare, the drug pricing negotiate, that's a big thing. That would be a disaster to have not included that.
It is. And so H.R. 3, which was the original negotiating bill, I think capped the number of drugs that could be included in that at 25, or that's what the moderates were pushing for. More important, I think, than the negotiating, perhaps, is the rules around inflation and the cost to people if you continue to raise prices and the caps that seniors are going to pay, plus the $35 caps, and the insulin is huge. Half this country's diabetic.
Right.
Now I have some reporting to add to this, which will perhaps be relevant if Kyrsten Sinema gets primaried, because she'll run on the idea that she pulled a deal together to bring drug prices down.
She brokered the deal.
She brokered the deal, but on Wednesday night, she tried to push into the framework a very flimsy, tiny little provision that only covered Part B, one little part of Medicare. And when the White House told the House about this, Pelosi told them no. If that's what you've got, don't put anything in there. And so when the framework was released, it had no drug pricing negotiation, no drug lowering costs at all. That created a bit of an uproar, and Pelosi continued to push, saying you need to do better than this. And so she and Scott Peters and Kyrsten Sinema worked throughout the weekend, and finally on Tuesday, basically pressured Sinema into a broader deal, which they have now. Still, so far, Bernie's expansion of Medicare to include dental and vision is out.
Right.
And Bernie on the floor yesterday could be overheard saying, "Look, so showing that same poll, saying, so we're going to take the most popular thing out," and it seems like all of the things that Manchin opposes as his top, opposition priorities are just coincidentally all of Bernie's top priorities. Right. So it's like a 1-to-1 match across the board. That's the only correlation, because there are things that spend more money than a lot of Bernie's proposals, but they're Bernie's, and maybe Manchin just wants a piece out of Bernie.
Yeah. Another provision Democrats are eyeing, according to Punchbowl's Jake Sherman, is a 5-year repeal of the cap on state and local deduction, better known as the SALT deduction cap. Senator Bernie Sanders slammed talks of the SALT repeal in the final legislation, saying, quote, "At a time of massive income and wealth inequality, the last thing we should be doing is giving more tax breaks to the very rich." Democrats campaigned and won on an agenda that demands that the very wealthy finally pay their fair share. "I will not support more tax breaks for billionaires," end quote. Former Treasury Secretary Larry Summers criticized the plan, saying that top earners are getting a significant tax cut in a Democrat-only tax bill, which is hilarious. I know you were. I saw you criticize that. You said it should be thrown in the ocean, and I joked on Twitter that the ocean is already salty.
Yes. Well, yeah, it's New Jersey should be thrown in the ocean because. New Jersey is, the center of big pharma, and also, the center of this advocacy on behalf of this SALT deduction, because housing prices are so high there, and you have so many people who are making hundreds of thousands of dollars a year and paying these significant state and local taxes, and so want this federal deduction. And so the deal that was kind of worked out was like, okay, but Menendez and other Gottheimer and other Democrats, if you will cave on some drug pricing stuff, then we'll cave on SALT. So this is kind of a New Jersey brokered deal in a lot of ways. But yes, it's already right next to the ocean for sure. But yeah, this Larry Summers is absolutely loving all of the Democratic misery because he's so bitter that he's not in this White House. He's loving every minute of this, but he's not wrong. Like, this could, except for the people that get hit with this millionaires surtax that's in here, this bill could end up being a tax cut for the rich.
Yeah,
which is be quite remarkable.
Pretty remarkable. And there are, so my colleague at Reason, Eric Boehm, he wrote about this, and there actually are libertarian reasons to be against this as well. He writes, so there's nothing inherently wrong with cutting taxes. This is our perspective as libertarians. And the wealthy already pay a disproportionately large share to the federal government, but the SALT deduction is problematic on libertarian grounds because how much you pay to your state government should not affect how much you owe to the federal government. Wealthy residents of California or New York who want to pay less in taxes should move to lower tax states or vote for politicians who will cut taxes, not have their tax bills subsidized by residents of other states, which I think makes sense.
What's the difference in voting for politicians to cut your taxes through a SALT deduction? Isn't that the same thing?
Yeah, but
I'm not defending the SALT deduction, but it's the same process of lowering your own tax bill by electing people that will lower your tax bill.
Right, but we want it to be, we want everybody to enjoy that, not just this, high-income people who moved to high-tax states.
Right.
It's being subsidized.
You guys want pressure on blue states to lower their taxes. Right.
Yeah.
Right. And that's why a lot of some liberals are supportive of this giveaway to the rich, because they argue that, well, this will allow New Jersey and New York and California and other states to have more robust state budgets that they can use, which is going to be important if Democrats are locked out of national power for the rest of our lives.
Which now looks kind of likely, not for the rest of our lives, but man, So does the election results, change this? Obviously, I don't know. I'm not persuaded that if they had gotten the deal in place earlier, it would have made a world of difference for the Virginia race. Maybe the New Jersey race ends up so close that it could have conceivably made some difference. But clearly the pressure is on to change up something, to do something, or else they're going to get. I think now the prevailing wisdom is that they're going to get slaughtered. The Democrats are going to get slaughtered in 2022, no matter what. How can they make it less bad?
Right. So that was the same prevailing wisdom that Republicans had in 2017 when they passed their tax cut. They figured they were going to get slaughtered in 2018, so might as well enact their agenda. Same thing in March 2020 after Democrats lost to Scott Brown in Massachusetts. 2010.
2010, yeah.
They said, well, we're probably going to lose in 2010. We might as well enact Obamacare, get our agenda through since we're not going to be able to soon. So some version of that is playing out now in the Democratic caucus. The wild card will be how Joe Manchin feels about this, and he's saying he wants to wait until there's a CBO score and a tax score, and I'm sure he will look at that and
very carefully
try to take. Well, he definitely will, and Rob Portman more accurately will look at it and then we'll brief Manchin on it, and then he will take a sharp red pen to significant chunks of it and present it then to progressives who have given away their leverage and say, take it or leave it. And
they'll take it.
And they'll take it.
And they'll take it.
Yeah, that's how these things go. We'll have more Rising right after this.